What's good, fam? It's Mr. Kelly with Good to the Hood, talking about anything and everything that impacts the culture. And today I want to talk about something that is impacting not just the culture, but everybody. And that's those stimulus checks. So what should you do with that money? Well, in case you don't know, here's how it works with the stimulus checks. Due to the coronavirus pandemic, we're all, well, kind of all, if you qualify, are supposed to get a stimulus check. Here's how that works. So if you're a single individual and you made $75,000 last year, 2019, or 2018, because they're going off of that also, then you're eligible for $1,200. It's just that simple. If you haven't filed your 2019 taxes, they're going to go off your 2018. If you did file your 2019 taxes, they're going to go off of that. So if you're a single person, $75,000 or less. If you're a married couple, it's a collective combined income of $150,000 or less. And that sounds real basic, like it's 75 and 75, but it's not really. So let's say you're a married couple, and let's say the guy made, it doesn't have to be the guy, let's say one of you made 90 grand. So one of you made 90,000, which is clearly over 75, but the other person only made 30,000. So collectively as a household, you only made 120,000. Thereby you are still eligible, and each one of you will get each one of you will get $1,200. See, so there are perks to that little piece of paper, ladies. Don't believe what he's saying. Outside of that, now if you have kids and you're in that situation, and it's your dependent, and the child is, I believe, 17 or younger, you'll get an extra $500 per kid that's staying with you. So what's crazy to me is, so I thought this whole deal was like, is this really going to be, the case or whatever. And I started seeing a lot of my Facebook friends and some of my family members and stuff, and I started calling people. And within this past week, like, a lot of people have actually gotten those checks. Like, a lot of people. And they're just like, yeah, just check my checking account, and it was just direct deposited in there. Now, if you don't have an account, or you didn't, when you filed your taxes, it wasn't linked to an account for your refund or whatever, then you're just going to get a physical check in the mail. That physical check in the mail, of course, from what I understand, what I've seen on the news, is for whatever reason, it's going to have Trump's name on it or Trump's logo or something. So, which is unprecedented, which is like, he's really wanting to give, he's making sure he gets credit for giving you your tax money, right? Like, he's making it seem like out of his pocket, out of his supposed billions, he's giving you money or whatever. But that's another topic for another show. So again, if you're making too much money, it doesn't, quote unquote, too much money, you're not going to be eligible for the stimulus check. So first thing that I when I was thinking about this is, just overnight, the IRS just dropped $1,200 into people's checking accounts, right? Sounds pretty cool, but this lets you further know that if they can do that, they have access to all your stuff, right? Which you kind of know, but it just kind of like confirms it, because nobody filled out any paperwork. Nobody signed for anything. When you file your taxes and submit your taxes, like, you're filling out all your information, right? You're putting down your social security number, you're bringing in your W-2s. If you're using TurboTax or something, you're still inputting all your info. If you're going to a CPA or tax preparer like H&R Block or something, you're still giving them the information. And then you're signing off that you're filing electronically, or you're signing off that you're going to mail it in. Like, you're giving authorization, right? This whole stimulus thing, nobody gave any authorization. Like, they are just like, oh, you filed last year, we got all your info, bloop, in your account. Cool. But this means they got, for a fact that they got access to all your everything. I mean, everything. Off your social security number known, who knows what they could be looking at and doing, whatever, right? This gets into the whole Patriot Act thing and whatever back during the Bush era. But it just like really puts to life. So let's just say, for the sake of argument, that if the government was super crooked, in this instance, if they wanted to, in theory, they could take $10 out of every American's account. I mean, would you, or even if it wasn't $10, even if it was $1, if it was $1 out of every American's account, and say they did that like every 3 or 4 months, nobody would know. You wouldn't know, right? And over a period of time, man, that could be billions of dollars. Over a real long period of time, that could be trillions of dollars. It's just crazy, right? And so that's why when I heard about all that, I was like, golly, man, that's crazy. They really got access to all your stuff. Like Big Brother could be real if they wanted it to be. Now, that's just that thing. Now look at it this way. What if, just saying, what if the Russians or the Chinese government or something hacked our whole system of how we do that? I'm all, in theory, because of that whole deal, could they not just start snatching out money from Americans, putting it in some phantom account? You know what I mean? And for that matter, I assume other countries are kind of doing something similar. Like I've read a little bit. I don't know how they're dispersing. I don't know if it's all checks, if they're doing a lot of digital. I would anticipate any modern nation would be doing real similar to what we're doing, right? So Japan, South Korea, anywhere in the UK, Europe, if they're having any type of stimulus, their version of a stimulus package, I got to believe they're dropping it into their citizens' accounts as well, which means they got full access. The whole world is interconnected on this whole, throughout the whole web and digital and blah, 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 blah. So it's pretty crazy, right? So what are you going to do with your stimulus check, right? That's the real question. Obviously, if you're responsible, put the $1,200 towards your rent, towards grocery, car payment, gas, whatever. Like, you should use it for what is needed to kind of help keep you afloat, buy a little bit of extra time. Obviously, $1,200 for the average person ain't going to really be enough to make a huge dent. I've said in other videos before, average person's paying, I gotta believe, $1,000 a month for rent. Give or take $100, depending on where you live and all that. Like minimum. Minimum. I couldn't imagine anybody really doing less than that. Like if you're renting a room, I get it. You can rent a room, maybe $600 or something, $500 maybe. But if you got your own apartment, unless it's a studio or a one bedroom, that $1,200 is going to take care of that. So I feel like you should use it for that. You know your budget and you know your finances. What I'm saying is, don't blow that $1,200 on nonsense. Like, don't go buying 2-3 pairs of J's. You know what I mean? Like, don't go and buy just frivolous nonsense. You know what I mean? Like, which I know that's going to happen. It's your money. Do with it what you want. But I feel like be a good steward of the money. Like, do something good with the money. Really, if you really don't need it, and you're really on top of your finances, and you're not in debt or whatever, take that $1,200 and put it in a high interest bearing money market account, right? Put 1,000 of it in there. Do what you will with the 200. Like, if you're given this opportunity to get this little extra coin, like, do something with it. That's my 2 cents. I didn't get no stimulus check, so whatever. Right? I'm kind of glad I didn't get it, because I'm hearing all these rumors that what if you got to pay it back, or it's really just an advance on your current return, or whatever the case may be, right? So I'm pretty good with finances. Me and my wife really got a plan. We've been sticking to the plan for the better part of 10 years. So it's cool. It's cool. All our kids are grown. They're living out on their own, so they're doing their thing. We're pretty cool in that regard. But with the money, you should do something. Honestly, if there's a couple young people out there, let's say there's a couple of you guys that are really close with each other. Let's say there's like 4 or 5 of you. Say there's 5 of you, right? Okay. Everybody just got a quick $1,200 come up. 5 of you. Okay, that's $6,000, right? That's 6 racks. So if you got that 6 racks and there's 5 of you, invest that into maybe some type of small business, right? I'm all about the entrepreneurship and doing your own thing. That'd be a smart move, I think, with the stimulus check. What you don't want to do, whatever it is you do, don't do this. Now, I saw this coming on Facebook, and I've seen a couple things on YouTube. This is crazy. Maybe some of you heard of this. There's this pyramid scheme, which this is crazy. I can't believe people are falling for this. Maybe you've heard of this. There's a pyramid scheme where people are like, you get like $100, and with this $100, you're supposed to buy in to some crazy inner circle, which I don't know what the benefit is of this inner circle. Like, it's just because we're part of this club. And the whole thing is the way that they're advertising it is pay $100, flip 100 into 800 real quick. Sounds too good to be true. It is. Like you're a straight sucker if you for this. And this is how this works, right? Hopefully you stayed to the video because I'm getting ready to hit you the game of what not to do with your stimulus check. Do not give $100 to buy into this little circle. Because here's the thing. You buy into it. And the way that you're supposed to get your money is you're supposed to find 8 other people. And each one of those people gives you $100 to find out how to get into this inner circle. So now you've given your 100 because you was suckered in by some other guy. Now you sucker in 8 other people. Now you got $100 from each one of them. So now you got your money. You done flipped a Hondo into 8. And now you got to inform each one of them, hey, we're all in the inner circle. So what each one of you need to do is find another 8 suckers to give you $100, and then the cycle continues. This has got to be the dumbest thing ever. But people are falling for it, so it's crazy. I guess it's legal. I don't know what the inner circle thing is, but you don't. There's no club, there's no product, there's no. This is worse than Amway or Tupperware. Like at least with those, if anything, you bought $100 worth of Tupperware. Even if you don't get any of it off and you don't have anybody join your little Tupperware group, at least you have the bowls and cups and plates. Like this is legit. Give Bobby $100 and tell Bobby to go find 8 other Bobbies. It's the craziest thing ever. So whatever you do with the stimulus check, don't do that, right? That's idiotic. But put some consideration into what I said about as far as high interest bearing money market accounts, a CD or annuity. I wouldn't necessarily, this is kind of gambling, but you could kind of do this where like the whole E-Trade thing, my oldest boy does that. And I guess he does pretty well and he kind of watches the stock market and does all that. I have a guy that I go to, a financial advisor, and then I'll buy whatever. Just so you know though, Disney is probably something to look into. Don't take my word for it. I'm just saying, maybe buy a couple shares of Disney. Look at a couple things to buy because of the pandemic, a couple things have taken a dip, but they're gonna pop right back up, right? So be smart with your money. Don't blow it on nonsense. Like don't blow it all on DoorDash and Jordans. You know what I mean? Like that's crazy. Games, like this frivolous nonsense stuff. Like do something with the bread, pay your bills, whatever. Anyway, comment below. Let me know if you've fallen for that scam or if you know anybody that has gotten into that scam. That thing is crazy. Like that's everywhere. Like in the past 2-3 days, that's everywhere. But anyway, do me a favor if you would please hit that like button, hit that bell so you know when I'm posting. Try to post something every other day. I've been doing pretty good I've only been up for about 2 months, but I've been putting something up on average about every other day for sure. Hit the subscribe button for sure. I appreciate your support. Always put in the comments if there's a topic you want me to hit. But for sure, hey, take care of the stimulus check in a positive way. Don't blow it on nonsense, what have you. And this is Mr. Kelly with Good to the Hood.